Welcome back to Passionate World Talk Radio. Educate, enlighten, entertain. And this morning, or this evening, if you live in India, or Hong Kong for that matter, or Australia, maybe it's morning by then. But anyway, on Cool Your Heels with Lillian, our special guest is Shellley Astrof. She lives on the plateau of the Himalayas, and she does meditation for children and their parents, which I think is an astounding idea because people don't equate kids with meditation at all. They don't think they really need it. However, I know better. So, Shellley, why don't you just give a quick synopsis of who you are and why you landed up in India?
All right. Well, I was a teacher for many years, and then I taught education at university, and education was really my thing. And I remember my husband, when he was in graduate school, he saw a sign on the university wall that said, "Learn to meditate, improve your marks." And I was teaching grade 2 at the time, and I thought, I was teaching in the inner city, and I thought, why don't I give it a try? Now, this was the mid-1970s, and I did start meditation with. I had our school psychologist help me out, and the children responded incredibly. And over time, we just saw that their marks started to improve. They started to settle down. They started to focus. And we only did it 3 days a week. And I thought, we're onto something. And slowly, I have made it my life's work to incorporate meditation with children and their families. And my son is, he's 40 now, and he's been brought up this way. And well, you don't ask a mother about her child. He's just great.
He's probably I know. I have a 46-year-old who's going to be 47. And I know he says, "When do you stop bragging about me?" And I said, "Get used to it. I am internally known as Ben's mom, and you're going to be internally known as my baby. So deal with it and get over it." And so we kind of left it alone after that. So I know as another mother, you understand exactly what I'm saying. It's a different type of relationship with a boy than it is for a girl. Anyway, to start out, I think it's a great idea. I know that when the epidemic hit, I have 3 grandchildren. The twins are going to be 14, and therefore they know it all. And the little one who just turned 7. And one of the things that mom did, because mom is Chinese, is she signed him up for meditation classes, for yoga. And that has made a world of difference for him because he has learned how to center down on what he needs to really focus within himself.
That's right.
And he's not so unmanageable now because before, I mean, he loved being taught at home, but he wasn't with his friends. And to him, since he's not allowed on the computer yet or the internet in any shape or form, he couldn't visit with his friends the way his older sisters could. So he felt like half his life was over. And I'm thinking, really? Half? Not just a quarter or an eighth? So, but when they got him involved with the yoga and the meditation, that really seemed to zoom in for him that spot which is exclusively his, that he can concentrate on, because he's already learned the lesson. The only one who can really truly bring you happiness is yourself, and everything else follows, which is a universal lesson that I would say about 2/3 of the world hasn't yet learned.
You said it so well.
I didn't mean to take the thunder out of your lightning there.
I loved it. You said it so perfectly because I mean, sometimes I'd laugh because I think for parents, I'd say it's great for you to meditate, but when your children meditate, it's even better. Because you're right, they do center themselves. And especially younger children, they find they're somehow they're not caught up in too much just yet. And when you meditate, you start to see that your mind is one thing, but you are that which stays permanently. Because meditation gives you that opportunity to distance yourself. And so when you see that your mind is always changing and it's taking you here and it's taking you there and you're going up and you're going down, and in meditation you find out that the one who's watching that movement and that changing and that coming and that going and that exciting and that crying, that one that watches never changes. And that is the biggest value of meditation, is you get to that part of yourself that is intelligence and delight, because that's our true nature. And so we would call that, or I would call that, the knower. It's that inside you that knows. And so when you meditate on the knower, your mind gets saturated in that light, in that delight of who you really are. And when you open your eyes, you actually carry that into your world. And somehow children, they have it, for whatever reason, it's much easier for them. They go right into it and they carry that joy and that excitement. And, you know, I've watched them, they just sit there and they'll close their eyes for, 30 seconds to a minute, and they're like, I'm done. and somehow, but they got something. They got something. I have on my website something called Smile Meditations, and they're 30 seconds. Just close your eyes and put a smile on your face, because meditation should take you to that happiest place of who you are. And so you don't have to meditate for long, but if you meditate regularly, you build that power inside yourself, and your mind, it holds that. So it's not the amount of time you meditate, rather it's trying to keep up a kind of regularity, because it's the power that builds on itself.
I think too that a young kid has not yet learned to judge themselves by adult standards.
That's true.
Teens start judging themselves by adult standards by the time they're 13, 14 years old, because they're considered adults in our society, which is unfortunate, but they're still considered adults. And I have noticed with my young grandson that he is completely within his own boundaries that he has set up, very comfortable with it. And I know a lot of kids who are not. And I think a lot of it also has to do with how their parents maintain the calmness around them.
Yes. That is a very important factor. And certainly a child who comes from that atmosphere definitely has a heads up. They are ahead. But even if they don't, if they can find it in themselves, even as they go through those terrible years going into being a teenager, where it's nature's conspiracy, where you're so identified with every little thing that happens. Everything's such a big deal. But if they can center themselves, they do have like that reprieve from that, where they can find that special place. Because when you close your eyes in meditation or you go within, nobody from the outside can bully you, can praise you, can do anything. You are there in your safe place. And so when you open your eyes again, you can hold that safe place with you. And that's really powerful. And you keep that with you. It's like, your little secret in your pocket. Because
Well, I think it's your protective armor. The way a crab, hermit crab goes look for a shell, for a hard exterior to separate it from the rest of the sea creatures. But I think that too, if you do it the right way, you have to. I mean, somebody says to me, Lillian, you love yourself, you like yourself, you have to teach me how to do that. And I said, it's not a question of teaching you. You have to find that whatever it is that's inside of you. I call it my inner pest because it talks to me all the time. A lot of people don't have them, or they just don't listen to them. But I listen to mine. And I said, when you find whatever it is in there that communicates its likes and dislikes to you, you have to keep on listening to it all the time because it's there for a reason.
Yes, well, that is, I would call that your own knower. It's that inside you that was there, like when you're born and when you've been a baby, and then you grow up and you're a toddler, and then you're an elementary student, and then you go to high school, you're a teenager and an adult. And as we go on, we become parents and grandparents. Now, we've changed, our bodies have changed, our minds have changed. We've gone through so many situations and circumstances and life events. But who is it inside that knows that that picture of me at 1 day old was me? That's the knower who knows throughout that is me. And we each have that uniqueness about ourselves, that we know for ourselves who we really are. And when we close our eyes in meditation, we touch that. We touch that sense, that essence of who we are. And we all do it in our own way. But formally, I would do that in meditation. And I've just found that it's worked for me, and it's worked for all of my parents and students who've done it. It's just been fabulous.
So let's do a quick intro to meditation for the kids who are out there listening, especially during the pandemic, which is going to come in and out in waves, and how they can adjust themselves accordingly, because it is a new world out there. Whether you want to accept it or not, time does not stand still. Change doesn't stand still. The parameters that were no longer exist, and that which is coming will come and stay. So, what are some of the things that kids at least can do to strengthen their inner core, or at least become aware they have an inner core, and that's the voice that they should listen to?
Yes. All right. Well, I'll just start off for even if you're not a child.
Okay. The child.
For us grown-up children.
Exactly.
Just sit comfortably anywhere and close your eyes and put a smile on your face and feel that sense of joy within. And you can watch your breath, or just see, is there a thought that's coming in your mind? The thought will come, it will begin. It may stay for a moment, and then it'll go away and make a place for another thought. Now, just focus on who is watching that thought. Who is watching you as you breathe? You breathe in and you hold your breath and you breathe out. The one who's doing that watching of your mind, of your breath, of your body, that is the real you of who you really are. And that is your knower. And you can just open your eyes if you had them closed. And we have, I started a little club, a knower club, where we have like pranayama exercise, breathing exercises, and games and activities and stories, and hatha yoga exercises that are all these little animated things that are on our a little club that I developed on our website. So, and it goes with this book I wrote when I put together. I had been a curriculum specialist, so I wrote a curriculum for teaching meditation to the elementary school. So kids can just have fun with it, parents can. And
that sounds terrific. So Shelly, tell everybody where they can find you on the World Wide Web, how they can connect with you, should they desire to do that, or give you a call and say, hi, I need some help.
All right. Our website is knower, Knower, knower.ca. And you can reach me at Shellley@knower.ca. I think that's
That sounds about right. Gene, I thought I was the only one who had trouble remembering my phone number. Oh, you make me feel so good. Thank you.
And I have the Knower Curriculum Facebook page. You can contact me on there as well. And I've just been delighted to show you meditation, and I love having stories go along with it, because I think it's very important, because children need to develop their minds, and so meditation, it's not just closing your eyes, it's developing that whole intelligence inside of a human being, and what better way to do it than starting off when you're young. And it's a great thing for parents to do together with their children.
I believe so too. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this evening's or this morning's interview, Cool Your Heels with Lillian, with Shellley Astrof, and that you can see and view this interview all over again on youtube.com/PWR Network, PW Talk Radio. You can also see it on Facebook Live /Lillian.Caldwell35. You can also see it on twitter.com/PWR Network, on linkedin.com/Lillian Caldwell, and on the website https://passionateworldtalkradio.com. Right-hand side of the page, Cool Your Heels menu, and also on Tuesdays evenings from 8 to 9 p.m. on AMFM247.com. And before you go away and stray, Marcus Aurelius had this to say in the 2nd century: if he sinned, the harm is his own. Yet perhaps, after all, he did not. Food for thought. Thank you all very much for joining us this morning. And remember, please stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're more